I'm walking out from scouting and hanging cameras for a quota hunt I have, and it's a well-known, if you ask me, overhunted place. But I applied for it just because I used to hunt it years ago before it was a quota, and kind of have a plan B place. So in this video, I'm going around hanging cameras and stuff. I try my best not to show too many landmarks, but I walk by several cameras and cell cameras, and if you do recognize where I'm at, just out of respect for other people, other hunters, don't name drop it in the comments. Here we go again. I just got out here to a place I drew a quota for archery. I'm gonna check a couple cameras I've had up for a month or so, where I had a buddy Josh put them up for me because I hadn't had time to come. It's like 11:30. It took me forever to get here because there's a bunch of road work, but I finally made it. I just now left the truck and walking a pond edge, and there's a heck of a deer trail I'm walking on, and there's the first. I'm not 15 yards from the truck, and there's the first rub. So man, these mosquitoes are awful. Maybe we're on to something. I think I'm gonna have to go pretty deep here to get in here to where I want to look. This rain, or that storm, brought this water level way up. No bucks on that one, but I can tell when they rut, it would be an alright spot because there's rubs on all these little trees. Bunch of does and yearlings on that one. Same thing on that second camera, just doeing 2 yearlings a few times. Not even many pictures of them. I think it was like 6 days they were on there since the camera's been up for a month, so I just left them alone. I'm gonna go look at some other spots and throw some cameras up, hopefully before it rains too much. It's been sprinkling off and on. I came on down the road about a mile, and this whole place, there used to be a couple dead ends roads that came in here, and then everything was foot access. After that, I hadn't hunted this place in, I think, 23 years when I looked. But I passed a place I recognized. It didn't used to be a road, but I passed a place I recognized that I killed it was like a reindeer looking 4-point, one of the biggest 4-points I've ever seen. Back here on the edge of this pond. And then right over here where I parked the truck, I recognized where I used to, because I would come in here on foot, and that used to be where I cut in to go hunt another place where I killed a buck and saw a giant. So there's roads everywhere, so I'm basically like 100 yards off of a main road right now. But I was gonna look at this pond, but it looks like it's grown up so thick I couldn't even hunt it anymore if I wanted to. I'm gonna go look at the edge. There's walking trails and roads and stuff all through this place now where there didn't used to be anything. There's deer tracks on this trail coming into this pond. I don't know. There's like, you can't hardly get 100 yards off of a road that I can see. There's a pretty good buck trail right here, or not a buck trail, a buck track going in the edge of that cypress pond. And there's a few old rubs right there, so I didn't bust out in it, but I don't know if you can see it on this GoPro or not. But I hung that trail camera right there facing this way. Right off the road, but hopefully nobody steals it. If you do steal it, it's got my name on it, so there's a lot more people out here scouting than I thought there would be. I've already seen 4 guys, two guys walking and 2 guys on e-bikes. I drove around for about 20 minutes there looking at roads and looking at where people been parking. I probably saw a total of 15 more guys scouting on e-bikes and mosquitoes. It looks like there might be a block here that there wasn't really many places to park around it, and there's a good pine and scrub oak point that runs out into a big cypress pond, a south facing point. If it's not too thick, I'm gonna run out here. If there's any sign and no human sign, I'm gonna hang a camera. It looks like it kind of, you know, rolls off into the pond, and that point's facing south. So that would be a perfect scenario if it's not messed with too much. 90% of the people were in kind of the swampier terrain, so I'm out here on the high sand hills. I did see a grown doe right by herself and back up the road a little ways. I'd already looked at that spot where I saw her. There's a little thicket you can see on the map right off of a main road, and I'd already marked the X there because it looked like there's a creek strand that kind of runs on the south side of it that would be more open, where them, once they started rutting, them bucks could cruise right through there checking them little thick places where the does bed. So I didn't walk in there, but just coming down the road I saw a doe standing right on the edge of the thick, so I imagine that's exactly what I thought. Hopefully I can get out here to this point. This looks like one of the farther places I can get from a road. It's probably 450, 500 yards from a road. Where I checked on the first couple cameras that I had Josh hang. I dropped the pin there for him to hang the cameras, and when he walked in there to hang the camera, he jumped a pretty good buck up, and then that buck's not on the camera, so I don't know if it was a fluke and the deer just happened to be there, or just him bumping the deer pushed him out. If just him bumping the deer pushed him out, it's going to be tough because there's people everywhere out here. I just got kind of to where this point starts going in the pond. There's a couple persimmon trees, there's gallberries, and a lot of these scrub oaks. These right here don't, but a lot of them I've been walking by have a lot of acorns on them. There's going to be a lot of feed right here on this point. Transition line right here. The high hills over here, and this point's going to run down this way. Like there's a big pond here. That's the same big pond, but it almost wraps around here. And this point, that's due south. I've seen several doe tracks on top of the rain. I'm sure it rained yesterday. I'm sure this guy's gun hunting, but it's not a bad location. Tree stands right there on that big pine. kind of right on the point now. I've got a little finger of cypress that comes across here, and then it kind of comes back up on almost it's going to be an island, I'm sure. But I haven't seen really any buck sign, but there's definitely deer been using it. I mean, there's briars. The briars are all browsed off, but it looks like they were browsed off 3 weeks ago. I can see where they've been stirring around out here. It's about perfect though. I ought to be right on top of it there. I'm gonna keep going. I really don't care if I spook them. I just can't. I've been coming this way. I just came across this 50-yard stretch of water there, about knee deep. This is gonna be a big palmetto and myrtles, but I'm already in. I don't know if I'm kind of gonna do a loop around it. I think it may not be anywhere to hang a camera. I don't see abundance of tracks, but I do see where they've been browsing. I'm kind of right in the middle of this thicket. You can see there's a tiny little opening here. There's several deer came through on top of the ring. I'm sure I'm right in the middle of the bedding area. The deer go right through there. I think I'm gonna put that camera on that snag and just see what deer it is. Try to get a picture of them right here. I can't see the tracks good enough to tell what they are, but it's at least grown deer. Too much pine straw. That should be pretty good. At least to get whatever deer that is coming through here. Who knows? Now I gotta walk out. Man, it's hot. I've told y'all before, I'm sure I don't put much stock in these quota hunts. I kind of know where I'm hunting and where my focus is going to be already. So, like hanging that camera out in a bedding area may not be the best strategy, but I really don't care. If I got, even if I get pictures, I may not hunt here this year, or if I don't get pictures, then I don't get pictures. But I would know, kind of know for next year if I wanted to hunt, get put in for this quota. but this is going to be a plan B spot regardless. You know, this whole quota hunt. So if the wind's not right for one of my other spots in the evening or something, then I'll come here, but I'm not. This isn't my focus. This is plan B. That camera's about 80 yards right there. I'm back up here on the point of the dry ground now. If I did get a picture out there, then I'd have to hunt up here somewhere or possibly in the water right there. But I don't think they can. Well, I mean they can, but most times I don't think they're going to go out southbound because that water gets deep. It's open water on the other side almost. But I think I could, if I was going to hunt here and didn't want to walk in and out this point, I can come across the pond right here probably. I don't think it gets maybe waist deep. I don't like walking where I've already walked, so I'm running the other side of this. Walked in the east side of the point and walking out the west side. Kind of ugly out here. Ought to be a good spot for a buck. All I'm seeing is does and yearling tracks in these sandy spots. I ain't seen no buck tracks up here. I think these last 3 cameras I got to hang. I'll go this way. I think these last 3 cameras I got to hang, I'm gonna hang. Oh, there's a bunch of deer tracks coming in right here on this higher hill. Out in the open where I can probably be nighttime pictures, but at least I get more pictures. And them first 2 I'm just gonna get whatever deer that is using that little trail, hopefully bucks. This may be one of them places I come to, like if I'm gonna hunt, I may come late morning and kind of just ride through and see where people are, or mid-morning, and then check a few places midday, and kind of, because there's so much sand out here, I should be able to see where the bucks are feeding on acorns or which acorns are eating. Check a few places midday and then set up for an evening on feed or something. It's gonna be hot. The quail. I just jumped a deer. Can't see it. It's too thick. I don't know what's going on. My truck's parked on that tree line right there, and I just looped around this way and came in because it almost looked like a thick patch right here up next to the road. So I want to check the back side of it. There was a deer laying right here about 25 yards. I'm going to back up and go around even farther. I'm used to swamp hunting. I ain't a big fan of these sand hills. Walking out here in this bald open sun's got my legs dragging. There's quite a few rubs and stuff going through here. This hill's getting steep. There's a big bottom, basically where I just showed you. The big bottom, the road's right there, and this ridge runs down here and makes a point right here. This is, I wanted to look up here. I know at least one deer was laying in the bottom. Big old hog track. It must be lost. I haven't seen any buck tracks yet. been walking around this thick scrub. I know the acorns are just starting to come on, but there's very few. About one out of 10 bushes have acorns right now. The other place I walked, where I went in that point and hung the camera, those were loaded down about a quarter of the way ripe. Other places I've hunted with these thick low bushes. Once the acorns get ripe, I've seen the bucks move into them and lay, because there's plenty of cover and plenty of feed. So that may just not be up here now. That's why I'm not seeing any kind of sign, but they got to be somewhere. There's enough sand out here to see tracks, and I just ain't. Basically every track I'm seeing is a doe with a yearling. I haven't seen really any single deer where I haven't seen the first buck track. I just did probably a mile loop right there. Nothing. Ain't even hung a camera. Came back down here to the swamp where it was a little bit cooler. There was a couple trucks parked here when I came in earlier. And this old access road's got boot tracks on it, but it looks like a lot of it's working and spraying, so I don't know how much of it was hunters. The last year I hunted here, this general area is where I hunted. I saw a real big 10 over here dogging a doe. I was in the stand and saw him, and then ended up getting down trying to stalk on him and following him for a couple hundred yards. Never got a shot, and then saw a decent buck on this side and let him get by me, and then ended up, while I was trying to make a move on him, another buck came by me and I killed that one. So I don't know, it was always hit or miss on hunting pressure here. This whole place looks like it has way more pressure than it used to. Basically everywhere I've walked in, there's been, ladder stands and stuff like that. There's a turkey, a couple of turkeys. There's a road. These mosquitoes are awful. I'm just gonna go on past. I think years ago anyway, a lot of them deer bedded up here close to the main road, and everybody walks by them, so I'm gonna walk by them like everybody else is, and then cut in and kind of slip back up towards the road, see what the sign looks like. I got 3 cameras strapped on me. I just walked on by it, so it didn't get the perfect picture of me maybe, but so camera. If you got me on camera, say hello. I kind of cut off the access trail about 300 yards now. Basically walking back towards the main road parallel where I just walked in on the access trail. It ain't far up here to where I saw the 10 point. There's some old ribbon in a tree here. There, I walked by some cameras back out there on the access, or right off the access. Whew, man, the mosquitoes are awful. It's got to be about 15 degrees cooler in here though. I'm basically just going to see if I can find any kind of feature that narrow deer down a little bit or something to maximize some pictures, because everything out here is basically the same. It's fun slipping this place during gun season. I mean, the farthest I can see is maybe 30 yards, and this is fairly open, where this right here is fairly open. I've been seeing these small rubs scattered. Nothing special. Pretty good hill over here. Piece of dry ground. Nothing fresh, but you can see the hole right there. Could be hogs too. I don't know if I got that doe on camera or not. I just saw this little trail right here and was thinking about putting the camera on it, but I was trying to find a track. And that doe jumped up. Laying right there somewhere. Maybe right there. She let me all but step on her. I'm back up here close to the road now, but there's an old skidder trail that runs through here. There's quite a few rubs on it and a few fresh tracks. I ain't seen nothing better, so I threw that camera. I got it hid right there on that little snag. We'll see. I ain't seen much. Back up here on the access trail, kind of on down that skidder trail, and everywhere I wanted to look, there's some little orange clothespins and ribbons and stuff pretty fresh. You know, people scouting, marking where they're gonna hunt apparently. So I'm gonna ease on out of here and go back up the road and try to find a place to get some pictures. I want you to see the size of these mosquitoes. Look at that bad boy. He can stand flat-footed and breed with a turkey. Well, I came on down here another good ways and gonna walk in here to where that the pond that big tall 4-point I killed came out of. There ain't been nobody in here. I don't know what the point of all these roads is, but there's roads everywhere now. Open roads, closed roads. I guess at least I can see a track. I got the last 2 cameras with me. Maybe I can find somewhere to hang them. I sure don't want to take them back home. When I killed this deer, I'm talking like 24, 25, probably 24 years ago. I don't know, a long time ago. But he came, I was about where that tall pine is, right there. And he came up out of this pond. Looks the same in here except for roads everywhere. I think I'm gonna hang a camera and just see what happens. There's a lot of deer tracks. I'm sure it's hard to see, but they're coming right down this edge. There's the pond. They're coming right through here and stuck that camera right there. It'll get pictures. I don't know if it's bucks. There's one track over there I could see in the sand. I really can't see them. It's just little jug marks. But the trail kind of wide here. It looks like going off into the pond, or at least right down to the edge. And 90% sure there was a buck track over there. They've been here fresh on top of the sand, still stuck to the grass, so it was last night from the dew. I think I'm gonna loop around the other side of this pond and see if there's anywhere over there to hang one. At least if they're laying in this pond like the one was years ago, I'll get them on either side to come out maybe. I'm about ready to head to the house. Now I'm gonna hit rush hour going back. These low bush acorns are out here. They'll be ripe a little earlier than anything else I've seen too. They're getting close now. That's the ripest ones I've seen so far. There's definitely more deer tracks in this, around this pond, than anywhere I've been all day. I think those scrub acorns are going to be right first, but these bigger trees here are right behind them. They're loaded down with acorns. I'm just going to hang that camera right here. I just hung that camera across that pond right there, and then I came around the point of it, so I mean I'm 250 yards from where I just hung the camera, but this ridge the ridge stalk kind of runs down dead ends into the pond. And there's deer coming up here everywhere. I can't tell whether it's bucks or does. I can just see scuff marks all over the place and leaves turned over. And where they twisted and turned feeding, I guess. I don't know. That storm came through and there's little acorns that blew out of the tree on these broke off limbs. I don't know if they'll eat them or not, but they've been up here feeding on something. There ain't hardly nothing here. And there's deer tracks everywhere. But I think I'm gonna back up right here and hang that camera right here. I don't know when I'll come to check them, so it may be after these acorns drop, and at least I'll know what's here. I just put that muddy camera right there, so I'm watching these. Guess I'll know if they're in the pond anyway. If they are, there's a real big pond. Well, you can kind of see it right there, I guess, but this finger of a pond runs down there, and then that's a huge pond, probably 40 acres, maybe bigger than that. Might be 60 acres. But if I'm getting them here, as soon as there's any kind of pressure, they're going to be going over there, I imagine. So hopefully it wasn't a complete bust. There's another good sign right there. An old spoon. Okay. Probably an old timer right there. You sat here and there's a Beanie Winnie can. Or Vienna sausage. Ooh, look at that scrape. Look at that hole in the ground right there. Yeah, I thought I was onto something here. I'm onto something. I'll get them. Alright, only took about right at 6 hours now, but I think I finally found something. Starting to cool off a little bit, actually. Anyway, I'm gonna be leaving right in the middle of rush hour. I hope y'all enjoyed it anyway, some of the process, and we'll see you on the next one.